Chamber of Commerce CEO Leeann Watson. Leeann, good morning and thanks for your time this morning.
Kia ora, Chris.
A lot happening in the city at the moment. First of all, let's just touch on the Mayoral Candidates Forum. It was a booked out audience. In terms of this interesting debate, what I saw is nobody under the age of 30. So for some reason we've got to try and inspire young people to vote. Why do you think it's so hard? Because the people who were there who were under 30 were probably broadcasting school journalists or just political followers of each candidate.
Yeah, look, it's a really important point, and one of the reasons that we've had the Mayoral Candidate Forum, and we are doing quite a lot of work in generating some discussion around the types of issues that we want to see from both the mayoral candidates and from the councillors, is to actually engage right across the whole community. And young people, as you say, seem to have just a sense of apathy around local government elections, which is quite ironic given.
It's their future.
Yeah, absolutely. And the decisions that get made at local government affect our lives each and every day. So we need to generate much more conversation and discussion around some of these key issues.
The Chamber's also released a pre-election report that outlines what you would like to see from the incoming council. Give us a summary.
Yeah, so there's 9 key recommendations, and I won't go into a whole lot of detail given we haven't got a lot of time here, but what we are looking to provide, I guess, both the candidates that are putting themselves forward for either mayor or councillors, but also again to the wider community, is some guidance around the sorts of things that we think are important, not only from a business perspective, but actually from a wider community perspective. So they address issues such as asking the council to take a look at the current asset base owned by the council, and that's not suggesting that they sell off the family silverware, which we've talked about many times before, but at least to actually put on the table a review of what the current council currently owns and whether or not that is fit for purpose for the future. So that's one of them. That's really important. That comes back down to another issue, which is how do we increase the rates base so that we can actually stop this increased level of rates across our city and our community, and that has an impact on everyone in this city. So in order to do that, we need to be really clever and creative about how we actually look to actually purchase things within the council. We need to look at whether or not there's mixed ownership models that might be available, different procurement methods, all of those sorts of issues. So that's a second recommendation. Another one is around the prioritisation of the central city. We talk about this a lot on the show. Having a vibrant central city is absolutely crucial to any city. That's about bringing tourists back. It's about supporting our young people. It's about making sure that we have a vibrant heart of this city. Giving businesses a stronger weighting around council decisions. Businesses are who contribute, I guess, to the economic well-being of the city. And when we have a strong business economy, we have a really strong wider community. So it's really important when we've got a mixture of people around the council table making decisions in a consultation period, that actually the business vote is given a stronger weighting. So that's really important.
Yesterday on the programme I spoke to outgoing City Councillor Raf Manji, who said the entire local government structure needs to change because there are too many delays, there are too many reports, the paralysis of analysis is happening. Would you agree with those comments?
Yeah, absolutely I would. And I think there's been a piece of work done recently with the local on the Productivity Commission around the structure of local government. And unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see any massive changes anytime soon. But it is really important that, I heard Raf, talk about the council are the largest organisation in the South Island. Now, that organisation needs to make sure that they are being held accountable, that they are actively engaged and working right across the community, that they're showing really bold leadership, and they're actually making sure that they put their customers in the centre of their decisions. And at times, often that is not happening. So I think there's some really good improvements that the council can make, and that's not just around the council table. That's right throughout the organisation. That's a cultural shift across the organisation as well.
Raf Manji also spoke about the need to get people with more financial nous inside council, particularly when he says, and he's quite right, when you're dealing with a multi-billion-dollar budget. It's nice to have feel-good projects, and it's nice to have people who want to have this and that, but you also need people with financial nous.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, or is that not the point, given we elect people based on who we like, regardless of whether they've got financial experience or otherwise? What do you think? Is that important?
It's essential. As Raf said, it's the biggest organisation in the South Island, so we need to make sure that we've got good, strong financial skills around that table throughout the organisation. But it's more than that. We need to make sure that we've got a real mixture, just like any other organisation where you've got a good diversity of skills and experience across across a board or across a council, and absolutely appreciate that the way that the council operates is different. It's a different structured organisation, and there are limitations on what they can and can't do. That doesn't mean that they can't be really transparent and be held accountable for the decisions that they make.
When it comes to voting, I haven't seen a lot of promotion regarding how you can vote in this coming election, which I think is an absolute tragedy in the city. I haven't seen many commercials saying it's not too late to vote, this is what you can do.
Yep.
And if people are exercised enough, they'll probably vote. But you need to tell people how to vote. I haven't seen any marketing, have you?
No, very, very little. I mean, there's, the billboard
That's
pictures, which is, pictures of people's smiley faces. One of the other things that we're doing is we've asked all candidates to respond to a number of questions which have been driven from our local government directive, and we're putting those up on our website. So they should be up next week.
Okay, good.
And this is about helping people make good decisions, well-informed decisions, so that it's not just a popularity contest. So, people tend to vote for the names that they know or the faces that they can relate to or they've seen in previous pictures. We need to do better than that. We need to actually understand what we're voting for. We need to understand what the candidates stand for and how that will impact our lives when they get into council. So hopefully, the work that the Chamber is doing is generating a lot of interest around why people should actually take an interest in local government elections. And then secondly, making sure that they understand who the candidates are, what they stand for, so that we can actually get the right people around the table making the right decisions.
Interesting, only 37% turned out in the last election to vote in the local body elections. That is everybody who is able or entitled to vote. Only 37%.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I don't know, is that democracy? Is that a mandate? Probably not.
Yeah, it's quite scary actually. And, I had a conversation with my daughter just recently, who's 19. Hopefully she's not listening because she'll kill me for saying that. But, I talked to her about her role in getting along and voting. And she questioned why, what's it got to do with me? When you start breaking this down for young people, everything that they do, whether or not that's the flat that they rent and the rates that they're paying through their landlord, to the bus that they're travelling on, to the fact that we've still got chlorine in our water and it's impacting on people's, ability to drink nice water or, having an impact on their skin, all of those things that, the libraries that they go to, these are things that impact young people every day. So they've got to get out there and vote.
Nicely said. Canterbury Employers Chamber of Commerce CEO Leeann Watson, always good to have you back on the program.
Thanks, Chris.
Get out and vote, and it is not too late to register. It is not too late to get out and make sure you enrol to vote. It is News Talk ZB.